Hi, my name is Monica Martinez and I will be completing an overview of children's development from birth to the age of 12 in this presentation. This overview will cover the core domains of development, being physical, social and emotional, and cognitive and language. It will also cover the impact diversity has on children's learning and development and its implications for learning and teaching. Throughout birth to the age of 12, children experience a vast change in physical development. During infancy, some of the physical developments that emerge are reflexes, motor skills, and self-help skills, such as the child's ability to dress themselves. The quality and timing of developing motor skills can vary depending on genetic and cultural factors. Therefore, carers should keep an eye out for serious developmental delays as professional intervention could be required. In early childhood, children begin advancing in their motor skills and their physical appearance becomes more mature. Diversity in children can impact the timing in which motor skills are perfected and their engagement in physical activity. Carers should encourage the development of motor skills and the engagement in physical activity by organising appropriate activities. During middle childhood, some of the physical developments include the constant growth in height and weight and the improvement of speed, coordination, and motor skills. Children also begin becoming aware of their physical appearance as they approach puberty. Regarding diversity, children differ in height and weight and some can display a delay in the emergence of fine motor skills. This delay can impact the child's learning as they can demonstrate difficulties in handwriting. Thus, teachers should encourage these children to practice their fine motor skills. A great deal of physical development occurs during early adolescence as children undergo the major milestone of puberty. Gender differences are evident in these physical developments, and the process of puberty varies in the time taken between children. Boys experience changes such as growing facial hair and penis growth, whereas girls go through changes such as the growth of breasts and the broadening of hips. Teachers should be aware of these major changes and be a good role model to early adolescents by demonstrating good fitness and healthy eating habits. Moving on to the next domain, there are several social and emotional theories of development. Some include Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, the Freudian psychoanalytic theory, Bandura's social cognitive theory, and Mailer's psychodynamic theory. This presentation will explore into Erikson's theory, which proposes that social and emotional development occurs through 8 psychosocial stages. The first stage is trust versus mistrust. The forming of secure or insecure attachments is the major emotional development in this stage. Infants vary in the amount of attachments formed. When working with infants, carers should understand the importance of attachments and seek professional help if they notice serious attachment issues. Autonomy versus shame and doubt is the second stage, where children start developing feelings of either independence or shame regarding their ability to handle life's challenges on their own. Concerning diversity, individual personality characteristics can be observed in children. The child's culture can also play a part in their emotions portrayed. This is the case as some cultures discourage certain emotions being displayed, such as sadness and anger. Carers should be aware of the potential cultural differences and display appropriate emotional expressions. Next is the initiative versus guilt stage that states how children can either feel motivated in using their initiative or guilty about having inappropriate feelings or behaviour. During this stage, children begin displaying a wide range of emotions and observing adult figures in how they emotionally express themselves in different situations. Children are diverse in regard to the amount of formed attachments made and the extent they seek reassurance from them. They also differ when engaging with strangers, as some children can act shyly, whereas others are more open towards them. Carers should understand that children can take time in developing attachments and show patience. Children roughly between the ages of 6 and 10 years are in the industry versus inferiority stage of emotional and social development. Erickson states that children can either feel good about their achievements after receiving praise or feel as though their abilities do not meet adult expectations after being punished for their efforts. In this stage, children have a growing amount of bonds with people outside of their family and display increasing ability in emotional regulation. Children can vary in the emotional regulation skills as they usually correspond with their cultural expectations. Some children can also be impacted emotionally due to a disruption in family dynamics, such as divorce or a death in the family. Teachers are encouraged to incorporate the discussion of emotions into the curriculum and to show children appropriate ways of dealing with negative emotions. The final stage that falls into the birth to age 12 bracket is the identity versus role confusion stage. This is where children have feelings of confusion about where they fit into society before eventually achieving a sense of identity. During this stage, children experience frequent fluctuations in mood. Several differences can be observed between children, such as how they express their emotions in regard to how they conform to cultural and gender roles, and how they deal with stress. These feelings of stress and confusion can negatively impact children's learning and development. Therefore, teachers should offer their support to students and collaborate with parents and the school's well-being team to assist these students who are portraying troubled emotional well-being. The last core domain of development is the cognitive and language domain. Some of the main theories include Piaget's theory of cognitive development, Vygotsky's sociocultural theory, and the information processing theory. This presentation will explore into Piaget's theory, which proposes that thinking develops through 4 cognitive stages. The first stage is the sensory motor stage, where infants acquire knowledge of their surroundings through the reliance of their senses. Their exploratory behaviour is influenced by their personality and the degree of emotional attachment they have. When working with infants, carers should be aware of their exploratory nature and create a safe environment with age-appropriate toys. Next is the pre-operational stage, where children begin developing language skills, engaging in make-believe play, and their thinking lacks logic. Children also have little understanding on how adults interpret situations. Personality traits can impact children's learning development, as those who are shy can disengage from make-believe play with friends. Children can also differ when interpreting situations due to the influence of cultural differences. Hence, carers should provide children the opportunity to engage in play with other children and encourage them to do so. They should also begin exposing children to real-world concepts and environments. The concrete operation stage consists of children roughly between the ages of 6 to 11. These children start thinking logically when solving concrete problems and are able to explain their reasoning. They are able to begin participating in more adult-like activities and team sports that involve coordinating multiple perspectives. When considering diversity, the child's culture determining the importance of logical thinking skills can impact the development of those skills. For instance, a child brought up in a culture that values household duties such as cooking and cleaning over skills such as reading and writing can restrict the development of those logical thinking skills. Culture can also influence a child's involvement in adult-like activities. When teaching, educators should conduct hands-on activities that introduce children to adult-like tasks and should also involve the combination of topic explanations with images in these activities. The final stage of Piaget's theory of cognitive development is formal operations. Children in this stage can think logically about abstract concepts and can develop scientific reasoning abilities. They are also now able to complete adult-like tasks. With diversity, children are able to think more abstractly compared to others, the more information they have on a topic. A child's religious, cultural, and socio-economic background can also impact their way of thinking. Teachers should ensure that they combine abstract concepts with concrete examples when having class discussions. If you wish to gain a more detailed understanding on any of the topics discussed, all of the information in this presentation can be found in these references. Thanks for listening.